At the beginning of the drama, we see our female lead, Yoo-min, who is married. Here, Yoo-min is making a painting of her family, in which Yoo-min has painted her father, mother, grandfather, husband, and even her sister. Coming home, Yoo-min's mother-in-law starts yelling at her, "Why don't you think about your husband? Why don't you ask your father to get your husband a good job?" The mother-in-law was also angry because Yoo-min's husband works in the office of Yoo-min's sister's fiancé. Therefore, this time, she forcefully tells Yoo-min, "You quickly go to your house and request your father to get your husband a good job." But Yoo-min believed, "I should value the position I have earned through my own hard work, not one obtained by using someone else." Then, in a short while, Yoo-min reaches home, where upon arrival the entire house is empty. We see Yoo-min's mom, Lee-min. Lee-min was one of the very cunning women. Today, Lee-min had an exhibition, for which she was busy with preparations. Here, Lee-min also has a manager, whose name is Kim. Well, Manager Kim receives a call from Yoo-min, where Yoo-min asks, "Perhaps today is the exhibition, so everyone has gone to the exhibition, right?" To which Manager Kim answers Yoo-min in the affirmative. At the same time, he starts telling Yoo-min, "I forgot to bring a file from home. You bring it." Yoo-min was of a very kind nature, so she doesn't say anything to Manager Kim, and after finding the file, she sets off towards the exhibition. Yoo-min is also taking her family painting with her. Then we see Yoo-min's sister, whose name is Jin-hee. At the exhibition, we also see Yoo-min's husband, whose name is Kang-shin. Yoo-min sees Kang-shin's car parked outside the exhibition. Yoo-min is quite shocked to see his car there because she didn't even know that Kang-shin had come there. When Yoo-min goes near Kang-shin's car, an envelope is lying outside the car, which is a resignation letter, and this resignation letter belongs to none other than Kang-shin. Seeing this, Yoo-min remains shocked for a while. At the exhibition, Kang-shin stops her and says, "After the party ends, I need to talk to you about something. I hope you won't be angry about what I say." Yoo-min thinks Kang-shin will talk about resigning from the job, so Yoo-min clearly tells Kang-shin, "Why would I be angry? I trust you. I know that whatever you do, you will do it for a reason." Then Jin-hee's gaze also falls on the painting that Yoo-min had brought with her, seeing which Jin-hee is quite shocked. After that, Jin-hee also shows that painting to Lee-min, so she too gets shocked, because there was always discord between them. So, the painting Yoo-min had made as a happy family was completely opposite to their real life. Therefore, Lee-min wanted to remove that photo from there. But just then, Lee-min's friends arrive there, where one of them, Seon, starts praising Yoo-min's painting because she liked the painting a lot. Here, Seon starts saying to Lee-min, "I didn't even know your elder daughter has so much talent." After which Lee-min, reluctantly, hangs Yoo-min's painting in the exhibition hall. When Lee-min leaves, Yoo-min notices that there is a little dirt on the side of her painting board. She is just about to use her saliva to clean the dirt when her brother-in-law, Do-guk, sees Yoo-min doing so. Then Do-guk puts sanitizer on a tissue paper and gives it to Yoo-min so that she can clean the painting with it. Do-guk likes Yoo-min's painting. Yoo-min feels very good hearing her praise. Now, these two were talking amongst themselves when Jin-hee comes to them, and Kang-shin also arrives there, following Jin-hee. Jin-hee, to make Yoo-min jealous, deliberately goes to Kang-shin and holds his hand and starts asking Yoo-min, "Is Kang-shin really that handsome? And what do you think? How will we look together?" At the same time, Kang-shin says to Jin-hee, "What are you doing?" To which Jin-hee asks Kang-shin, "Don't you like me touching you like this?" Kang-shin gives no reply to this because internally he also liked Jin-hee coming so close. Yoo-min knew, Jin-hee is trying to make me jealous, but she thought, "I can't believe that despite Jin-hee coming so close, Kang-shin didn't react." Just then, Do-guk's phone starts ringing, which brings Yoo-min to her senses, and to avoid the situation she makes an excuse of washing her hands and leaves from there. Then Yoo-min, after composing her mood a bit, as soon as she comes out of the washroom, she bumps into Do-guk again, who is in a great hurry. He tells Yoo-min, "Actually, my grandma suddenly felt dizzy, so I have to go home quickly." A little later, Yoo-min sees that Kang-shin and Jin-hee are talking to each other very happily. She starts going towards them when a lady asks her to show the painting, so she takes her to a room. In the meantime, Manager Kim also comes into that room, where Yoo-min tells Manager Kim everything. Lee-min was not to be found, so I came to show the paintings myself. Yoo-min also tells Manager Kim the file that Manager Kim had asked for. "I have kept all those files in my car." After which Manager Kim leaves from there. That lady had also brought a man with her who was observing suspicious things. Actually, that lady wanted to get those paintings investigated. This work couldn't be done in front of everyone, so she made an excuse to talk and took Yoo-min out of the room. Well, a little later the auction starts, where many people are ready to buy those paintings. Everyone bids millions of dollars to buy those paintings, but the painting will belong to the one who pays the highest. This auction continues for a long time, but in the end, that lady gets the painting. That too for 4 million. Now that painting was booked in that lady's name. But Lee Min started to have slight suspicions about why that lady wanted to take that painting. Here, Lee Min, to save herself, stops that lady on the way and starts saying, "You go in the car, don't worry, I will deliver that painting to your car." But she doesn't listen to Lee Min at all and immediately reaches the painting and exposes Lee Min in front of everyone. She starts saying in front of everyone, whatever paintings Lee Min is selling, they are all fake. Lee Min couldn't understand what to do. Just then, Manager Kim whispers in Lee Min's ear, "Why don't you frame Yoo Min?" And as we have seen, no one cares about Yoo Min. Because of this, without thinking, Lee Min starts telling media reporters, other people, and even the policemen, all this black business belongs to Yoo Min. Hearing this from Lee Min's mouth shocks everyone, but the biggest shock is to Yoo Min, and secondly, to Jin Hee, who can't believe that her own elder sister can do such wrong things. At this time, Kang Shin should have supported Yoo Min, but no, Kang Shin's entire attention was only on Jin Hee. Yoo Min, going to Lee Min, says, "Mom, what are you saying? I haven't done any of this." To which Lee Min, lovingly but manipulatively, says to Yoo Min, "Please quietly take all the blame on yourself. I will get you out of jail soon, but if I go to jail, no one will be able to get me out." Just then, Manager Kim steps forward and says, "I have all the proof that Yoo Min did all this." Actually, the files Manager Kim had asked Yoo Min to bring were all illegal files, meaning all the evidence was making Yoo Min guilty. After this, Lee Min also steps forward and says, "Please, sir, arrest Yoo Min immediately. I had no idea that Yoo Min would do such wrong things." On the other hand, Kang Shin tries to explain to Jin Hee, Yoo Min cannot do such a thing. But Jin Hee just says, "Everyone has proof." Well, now Kang Shin says to Jin Hee, "What should I do to make you quiet? Because I care about you a lot. I've even cared about you from the very beginning, and I married Yoo Min only so that I could get close to you." Then Kang Shin further says, "I thought by doing this everything would be fine. Either I would forget you or I would be happy living with you. But no, now when I see you with other men, I don't feel good at all, and now I want to marry you, no matter what." Hearing this from Kang Shin's mouth, Jin Hee gets very angry and starts saying, "I knew you liked me, but I thought you would gradually change." Jin Hee and Kang Shin were still talking to each other when suddenly Jin Hee notices that Yoo Min is also present there, meaning Yoo Min had heard everything. Seeing Yoo Min, Jin Hee immediately leaves from there, and Kang Shin is just about to follow Jin Hee when Yoo Min stops him. Yoo Min says to him, "Whatever you just said, it's a lie, right? You were just saying that to make Jin Hee happy, right?" Now Kang Shin doesn't remain silent and tells Yoo Min, "I don't love you at all. I did all this only and only for Jin Hee. Also, I have now decided that I will divorce you, and I was going to tell you this tonight." Yoo Min doesn't understand Kang Shin's words because according to Yoo Min, Kang Shin was going to talk about the job. After that, Yoo Min starts showing her resignation letters and says, "You were going to tell me about this, right?" But Kang Shin shows the second page, which are divorce papers. Seeing the divorce papers, Yoo Min remains in shock. At the same time, Kang Shin was already pre-planned to divorce Yoo Min, and he had even prepared the divorce papers without telling Yoo Min. Here, Yoo Min gets very angry at Kang Shin. Instead of calming Yoo Min, he immediately goes to Jin Hee to console her. Yoo Min is very sad, and just then her gaze falls on the policemen, who are looking for Yoo Min. Yoo Min takes the car and flees, and while driving, only tears are flowing from her eyes. Yoo Min is crying when she gets a call from Lee Min. Yoo Min picks up the call, where Lee Min pretends to show her innocence and says, "Please, Beta, come back. I promise I will get you out of jail soon. But for now, please handle all this." She is getting sad talking to them when a car hits Yoo Min's car, and in a short while, a truck comes there and causes a proper accident for Yoo Min. In a short while, Yoo Min is admitted to the hospital, where no one was worried about Yoo Min's condition. Then Jin Hee also comes to see Yoo Min's condition, so Kang Shin also arrives there. After that, Lee Min says to Kang Shin, "Beta, drop Jin Hee home safely," and Kang Shin doesn't even go to meet Yoo Min once. Instead, he follows Jin Hee so that nothing happens to Jin Hee. After everyone leaves, Lee Min goes to Yoo Min and disconnects all the machines that were supporting Yoo Min to stay alive. As soon as the wires are disconnected, Yoo Min slowly starts regaining consciousness. Seeing this, Lee Min says, "Today I want to clear everything with you. Today, I want to tell you the whole truth." The scene shifts to the past, where Lee Min had gone to an orphanage to adopt a child. Just then, suddenly, Yoo Min, who was young then, comes to Lee Min with a glass of water and says, "It's very hot. Please drink this." Right here, Lee Min likes Yoo Min's nature a lot, and she finally adopts Yoo Min. After adopting Yoo Min, Lee Min notices many things in her. For example, when Yoo Min was eating food, she was crying a lot from inside. Initially, Lee Min thought that maybe the food was not tasty. That's why Yoo Min was crying. But Yoo Min tells her, "No, the food is very tasty." Hearing this, Lee Min Min understands that Yu Min was crying because she felt bad for the children from her old orphanage, because she was eating such tasty food here and the children there would be eating only normal food. After that, Lee Min brings some clothes and asks, "Are these clothes enough?" Yu Min becomes happy with even a few clothes, meaning, even after coming to such a big house, Yu Min always kept sacrificing. She did desire things but never asked for anything in front of Lee Min. The scene returns to the present, where Yu Min has tears in her eyes. After that, before leaving, Lee Min says to Yu Min, "As a mother, I want to give you one last piece of advice. Next time you are born, be born a little cunning because this world is not good." Then, Lee Min leaves Yu Min's room and tells manager Kim, "Go and reconnect all of Yu Min's wires, otherwise the doctors will find out that someone tampered with the wires." We see that Yu Min was in the last stage of her death. At that moment, Yu Min thinks in her mind, "I was not at all naive. I also had greed in my heart. When I was in the orphanage, I wanted to get out of that place somehow." And a lady at the orphanage had told Yu Min, "The better you behave in front of people, the sooner someone will adopt you." And this was the main reason why Yu Min chose to always be a good girl from childhood until now. Then Yu Min is also continuously praying to God, "Please God, save me. If I survive, I will definitely take revenge on my family. Even if I have remained naive until now, not anymore. All my family members are going to betray me, and I have to take revenge on them somehow." Then suddenly a miracle happens. Yu Min goes straight back 1 year in time when she wasn't even married. Right in front of her, Jin Hee is also sitting, who immediately says, "Today you have to go see your wedding dress. I am busy, so you go alone. Kang Shin is about to come to help you select the dress." Then Yu Min leaves to get the dress, and as soon as she realizes that she has traveled from the future to the past, she remembers everything. How her mom, sister, and husband had betrayed her in the future. And this time, Yu Min will not repeat the same mistake. Now Yu Min, wearing the wedding dress, goes very close to Kang Shin and tears her dress in half with a pen and says, "This dress looks much better on me now." Also, Yu Min hits Kang Shin on the head with the flower bouquet she was holding and says, "Here's your wedding present." After that, Yu Min clearly says, and leaves from there, "I don't want to marry you." Hearing such words from Yu Min's mouth, Kang Shin gets a huge shock. He goes to stop Yu Min and asks, "Why are you breaking off this marriage?" To which Yu Min's answer is, "I don't have spare time anymore. That's why I want to cancel the marriage with you." Yu Min says, "I will tell everyone that the wedding is canceled. Everyone, meaning my family, your family, and Jin Hee too." When Yu Min takes Jin Hee's name, Kang Shin's reaction changes instantly. She says, "Don't you know you don't want to marry me? You just want to get close to Jin Hee." Then Yu Min directly answers Kang Shin to his face and leaves from there with full attitude. Then Yu Min reaches home and makes everything clear to Lee Min too, that she has cancelled the wedding with Kang Shin and has told Kang Shin clearly as well. So Lee Min is ignoring her, to which Yu Min raises her voice in front of Lee Min for the first time and says, "Can't you hear anything? Or are you pretending not to hear?" Just then, in a short while, Kang Shin and Jin Hee come there and tell Lee Min everything, how Yu Min cancelled the wedding. Then, Lee Min believes that Yu Min was not joking. Then Kang Shin forcibly grabs Yu Min's hand and takes her out of the house. Going outside, Yu Min directly tells Kang Shin, "You want to marry me only so that you can get close to Jin Hee. Besides, she belongs to a rich family, so it's not easy for you to get close to her just like that. And I am an adopted girl, so if anything bad happens to me, no one will care. That's why you found a shortcut through me to reach Jin Hee." These people were fighting among themselves when Yu Min got a call from Kang Shin's mom. Kang Shin had requested Yu Min, "Please don't tell them about the wedding being cancelled." Therefore, Yu Min switches off her phone, after which Kang Shin, reluctantly, kneels down right there and starts saying, "You know about my situation. My dad lost all the money in the stock market and after that he died. My mom raised me, and she paid off all the loans too. And after so many years, a little happiness has come into her life, so please don't ruin that happiness. If she gets this news, she will go into shock." Kang Shin further says to Yu Min, "I am ready to do whatever you say." But not once does it come out of his mouth that "I love you." Instead, he says to Yu Min, "You used to love me, right? So please marry me." Yu Min directly says, "I don't love you anymore, and I am not the old Yu Min anymore." That's why she cancels the wedding. On the other side, Jin Hee tells her mom, "By the way, if Yu Min is not getting married, then why don't I get married?" Hearing this, Lee Min becomes very happy, because Lee Min knows that Jin Hee loves Duguk, who belongs to a rich family and is also the CEO of a company. But this love was only one-sided. Only Jin Hee liked Doguk, but Lee Min had full faith in Jin Hee, because she is my daughter. If I am smart, then my daughter is no less. Yu Min had overheard their conversation conversation. Now Yoo-min had gotten a big opportunity to trouble Jin-hee and Lee-min, because just as Jin-hee hurt Yoo-min even after knowing everything, in the same way, Yoo-min will now approach Do-guk after knowing everything. Next, Yoo-min goes to meet her best friend Soo-jin, who is a journalist by profession. Here Yoo-min tells Soo-jin everything, how she broke off her marriage with Kang-shin. Now after this, Yoo-min tells Soo-jin, I want to meet Do-guk so that she can make a connection with him. Hearing all this, Soo-jin, being Yoo-min's best friend, gets ready to help her. Yoo-min tells Soo-jin, I only needs 10 minutes with Do-guk. Yoo-min says, she will somehow impress Do-guk in those 10 minutes. Now in the next scene, Yoo-min goes to meet Do-guk. Now Yoo-min confidently sits in front of Do-guk and says, I am adopted, so I am not Jin-hee's real sister. She also says, I have broken off my marriage with Kang-shin. Do-guk gets confused hearing all this from Yoo-min's mouth, why Yoo-min is telling all this. Then Yoo-min talks directly and clearly says, I want to approach you, and I want to fight against Jin-hee. Do-guk enjoys hearing Yoo-min's words. After that, he takes out a room card from his pocket and says to Yoo-min, all right, then you impress me. And if you force me to use the room, then consider yourself victorious. They were both still talking when Jin-hee also arrives at the same restaurant. She doesn't understand why Yoo-min has come here to meet Do-guk. Jin-hee says to Yoo-min, let's go outside and talk, but Yoo-min clearly refuses, and holding the room card says, I can't come with you because we also have to use this room. Here Do-guk was quite impressed by Yoo-min's confidence and fearless attitude. He puts his hand on Yoo-min's shoulder and walks towards the room. Jin-hee freezes right there seeing all this. Now, as Yoo-min was moving towards the room, her heartbeat was increasing. She was so nervous and scared that she couldn't even open the room properly. After which Do-guk takes the card from Yoo-min and opens the room himself. After going inside the room, Yoo-min is quite shocked because it was an office-type room. There, Do-guk tells Yoo-min, I have made this entire room only for working. After that, Yoo-min starts talking to Do-guk. Yoo-min says, Do-guk's grandma wants to get you married soon. And if you marry a beautiful girl, it won't benefit you. And if you marry a rich girl, you will only get money, not knowledge. But if you marry me, then I will help you in your business and will collect information and tell you all the details. Then Yoo-min says, don't you worry. We will get married, and we will also get divorced very soon. I will neither take your money nor anything else. This will just be a business deal like marriage. Hearing all these things from Yoo-min, Yoo-min had become a mysterious type of girl for Do-guk, and he had now started developing an interest in her. Yoo-min, while talking, takes out 2 wine glasses and enjoys the night drinking wine with him. Then Yoo-min was very drunk. She was looking for her rubber band to tie her hair. Just then, Do-guk brings a rubber band and ties Yoo-min's hair. He says to Yoo-min, you are very thin, and I don't want my wife to be thin. So you have to eat, you have to get fatter, otherwise I don't want my wife to die before me. Then Yoo-min asks him, have you ever seen all your memories flash before your eyes? I have seen it. When I was about to die, all my memories were flashing before my eyes. Here, Yoo-min had become very emotional, and Do-guk thinks that she has drunk too much, that's why she is saying this. So he says, you are very drunk, so it's better you sleep, we'll talk tomorrow. But Yoo-min holds his hand and says, and falls asleep in Do-guk's arms. Next day, when Yoo-min wakes up, she is in bed, and Do-guk is sleeping right next to her. Seeing all this, Yoo-min is shocked. Moreover, when she slept in Do-guk's arms last night, a lipstick mark also got on Do-guk's t-shirt. But Yoo-min didn't know the real truth, so she thinks that maybe something intimate happened last night. Due to this confusion, Yoo-min leaves the hotel before Do-guk wakes up. Upon checking her phone, she sees that Lee-min had called her many times last night. When Yoo-min reaches home, Lee-min slaps her hard first, and Yoo-min's father also yells at her a lot because both sisters are fighting over the same boy. Then Yoo-min clearly tells everyone, I will not marry Kang-shin, and the main reason for this is that Kang-shin loves someone else, not me, and I cannot marry such a person. But hearing this from Yoo-min's mouth, Jin-hee understands that she is talking about her. Jin-hee says to Yoo-min, whatever Kang-shin did, but what was the need for you to take revenge on me? Then Yoo-min says, now nothing is going to be okay. I have spent the whole night with Do-guk, but Lee-min silences Jin-hee and orders manager Kim immediately shift Yoo-min to a separate room so that when Yoo-min remains locked in that room for a few days, she will understand everything. Manager Kim also takes her phone. When Yoo-min is locked in her room, we see that her room was very simple, no decoration. Then she sees her rubber band and remembers that when she fainted after drinking, Do-guk had also touched her lips. On the other side, Do-guk goes home and tells his family members, I have to talk about something important. He tells everyone, I am going to marry a girl soon, and I am doing all this to prove to my friends that I am not asexual. Actually, he never had any interest in any girl, due to which his friends started considering him asexual. Hearing this, his parents go into shock, but his grandmother wanted him to get married soon. Therefore, Grandma is fully supporting him. On the other side, Yoo-min stops some children through the window and requests them to give her their phone and was also ready to give money in exchange for that phone. Then, Yoo-min calls Do-guk. Do-guk, to show his parents, deliberately talks lovingly with Yoo-min. There, Yoo-min tells him, "My parents have locked me in the room, so please come to my house and get me out of the room." As soon as Do-guk hears Yoo-min's words, he interrupts his family member's conversation and leaves to save Yoo-min. On the other side, Lee-min overhears all of Yoo-min's conversation and then comes to her room and starts humiliating her. She says, "Don't forget that you are adopted, and what do you think that boy will come to save you? You have just spent one night with him, and don't think that he has started loving you. He is a very rich person and will forget you in one night. Many girls are already available for him." Lee-min was still saying all this when Do-guk arrives there. Seeing him, Lee-min is also shocked. He takes Yoo-min with him to her father, where Do-guk tells them, "I want to marry Yoo-min. You just give us your blessing." These words hurt Lee-min. Lee-min starts telling Do-guk, "You used to love my younger daughter, so what suddenly happened after one night that you now want to marry Yoo-min?" So he clearly tells Lee-min, "I know that you tried to contact my family through Si-yeon." And at the same time, he also makes it clear to Lee-min, "I have no interest in Jin-hee." Then Yoo-min's dad decides, alright, if Do-guk and Yoo-min love each other, then they should get married. Lee-min tells Do-guk, "Isn't this happening too soon?" In fact, Yoo-min has just had a breakup. She hasn't even recovered from this yet. Hearing this from Lee-min's mouth, Yoo-min feels a little hesitation, after which Do-guk holds Yoo-min's hand and starts taking her outside. Before leaving, Yoo-min also asks her mom for her phone. Seeing this, Do-guk says to Lee-min, "Perhaps Yoo-min has collected a lot of love from childhood until now," meaning a girl who didn't come home last night. In return for that, she was locked in the house, and her phone was also snatched. After which Do-guk also tells Lee-min, "Never mind, I have come here, and from today onwards, I will protect Yoo-min, and I will also give her love." Coming outside, Do-guk tells her, "I know you haven't eaten since then, so first we will eat, then we will talk." Hearing Do-guk's words, Yoo-min feels very good, because for the first time someone had cared for her so much. Then he takes Yoo-min to an expensive restaurant, where he orders the food himself. When Yoo-min starts eating, she also starts crying right there. Do-guk says to Yoo-min, "Now what suddenly happened to you?" Yoo-min says, "I am not used to eating in such an expensive restaurant. I just want street food right now." Then, while having dinner outside, Yoo-min becomes very emotional and shares her feelings with Do-guk. Hearing all that, he tells Yoo-min, "You should focus on food, not think about old things." But still, Yoo-min doesn't calm down and tells Do-guk, "To this day, no one has loved me. My family has always thought of ruining my life, but you are the first person who worried so much about me, cared for me, and you came this far to save me." Then, Yoo-min starts vomiting. Seeing this, Do-guk goes to Yoo-min and starts asking her what happened to you in that house. Upon which Yoo-min tells Do-guk, "Once someone had put poison in my food, and later, it was found out that it was the maid, whom we quickly fired from the job. But still, I loved them the most, and I didn't even realize that they were after my life, and you must have even seen my family members. Now I don't understand whom to trust and whom not to." Here Yoo-min cries a little, and then finally says in front of Do-guk, "But now I have changed, and now I have to take revenge as soon as possible on those people who have made my condition like this." Do-guk asks Yoo-min, "Are you marrying me also for this reason, so that you can take revenge on them?" Upon which Yoo-min admits this and tells him, "I am marrying you only to take revenge, because if Jin-hee gets hurt, then along with her, Lee-min also gets hurt." Here, Do-guk is very impressed by Yoo-min's confidence and promises her that he too will join her in taking revenge on their family. Then Do-guk sees some flowers planted on the side and goes there and plucks a flower, makes a ring out of it, and proposes to Yoo-min by kneeling down, "Will you marry me?" And Yoo-min accepts it and wears that flower as a ring. Yoo-min says, "But what should I do for you now?" Do-guk stands up, spreading his arms, because Do-guk was talking about hugging Yoo-min, but Yoo-min takes it the wrong way and goes to Do-guk and kisses him on the lips. After kissing, Yoo-min feels that no, she did wrong. Do-guk was asking for a hug, but she mistakenly kissed him, because of which Yoo-min was just saying sorry to him, when Do-guk says to Yoo-min, "This is not enough." After which he pulls Yoo-min towards him and starts kissing Yoo-min himself. Next day when Yoo-min wakes up, she sees that their kissing photo has gone viral on social media, and a lot of time has passed since that photo went viral. But still, no one is getting that photo deleted from social media. Seeing this, Yoo-min understands. Do-guk has no feelings for me. Rather, he kissed me for his own benefit, so that his man could click my and his photo and put it on social media. In the next scene, Jin-hee is talking with her parents when Yoo-min arrives there. Seeing her, her dad calls her towards him and starts asking, "Do you trust Do-guk?" Meaning, will he not leave you in the future? Here, Lee-min also starts saying to Yoo-min, "Yes, I am also not sure. Who knows? Do-guk's family members might not accept you." Therefore, Lee-min puts a condition in front of Yoo-min that she will get ready for Yoo-min and Do-guk's marriage. But before the marriage, there will be a family get-together so that they can see if Do-guk's family members are also ready for the marriage. To this, Yoo-min confidently tells Lee-min, "Alright, I accept your condition." After that, Jin-hee goes to her room, where she sees from the window that Do-guk's car is parked outside their house. And Yoo-min gets into that car. Jin-hee thinks Yoo-min and Do-guk are going to spend quality time together. But when we look inside the car, it turns out that Do-guk's assistant is inside the car. Now he takes Yoo-min to Do-guk's apartment. Do-guk's assistant thinks he has seen Yoo-min somewhere before, but at that time, he couldn't remember exactly where he had seen her. When Yoo-min enters the room, Do-guk is cooking food for her inside. At the same time, he shows Yoo-min a contract, according to which Yoo-min and Do-guk will work together. Now, taking advantage of this contract, Yoo-min tells Do-guk, "I need to write one more condition in this contract, that until our parents meet each other, we will not get married." Yoo-min said this because Lee-min had challenged her that she would have to make Do-guk's family meet her family. At the same time, Yoo-min also tells Do-guk, "Even though we are going to get married, we will not interfere in each other's lives." Hearing this from Yoo-min, Do-guk feels a little bad because now he had developed feelings for Yoo-min, and this contract will be valid only for 1 year, because Yoo-min knew that after 1 year, she would go back to her world anyway. Further, he tells Yoo-min, "This apartment is mine, but now, because we both are going to get married, you can also come to this apartment, and not just as a guest. If you want, you can comfortably stay in this house for many days." Then he gives Yoo-min a tour of the whole house. There, Do-guk had specially prepared a room for Yoo-min. That room was very big and beautiful. Many clothes were already kept in the wardrobe for Yoo-min, whose designs Yoo-min liked a lot. Do-guk was doing all this only so that Yoo-min would never feel the trauma she went through in her house here. After this, he gives Yoo-min the key to the apartment so that Yoo-min can come and go anytime, whether he is at home or not. In the next scene, Yoo-min tells Lee-min, "I am going to the hospital to meet grandfather. I want to tell him that I am getting married." To this, Lee-min says, "Alright, if you want to meet grandfather, then go. But I have one condition. You will have to take manager Kim with you." After reaching the hospital, Yoo-min sees that grandfather has locked himself inside. Yoo-min knocks on the gate for a long time and calls out, "Grandfather, I have come. Please open the gate." Then manager Kim leaves Yoo-min there and goes to his home and goes and tells Lee-min everything. Yoo-min kept knocking for a long time, but grandfather didn't open the gate. In the next scene, we see Yoo-min is with Soo-jin in a restaurant. Yoo-min is taking tips from Soo-jin on how she can impress Do-guk's mom. Soo-jin, to help Yoo-min, had brought a pass for a cooking class for her, where Cha-yeon, Do-guk's mom, also comes. When Yoo-min comes out of the cooking class, Cha-yeon is also right outside the cooking class. Chae-yeon asks Yoo-min, "Will you have a cup of tea with me?" Yoo-min agrees. But as soon as they reach the restaurant, Yoo-min sees that Jin-hee is also present in the same restaurant where Chae-yeon has taken her. Or rather, it would be correct to say that Jin-hee and Chae-yeon already had a plan to meet. In the next scene, we see Do-guk, who had gone home to meet his family members. Han is also there, and here we clearly find out that Do-guk and Han do not get along at all. Han blames Do-guk for his foot because he cannot walk on one leg. There, Cha-yeon tells Yoo-min, "You should give up. You are the elder sister, so you should care for your younger sister." To this, Yoo-min's answer is clear. Why should I give up? I also love Do-guk, and it doesn't matter if Jin-hee also loves him or not, because he loves me. At the same time, Yoo-min even says, "Besides, what have I ever gotten? Everything has always belonged to Jin-hee. I never tried to snatch anything from her, but this is the first time I am snatching something from Jin-hee." In the midst of all this, suddenly, Do-guk arrives there. He doesn't like at all that his mom is talking to Yoo-min. Chae-yeon thinks that perhaps Yoo-min herself called Do-guk. Do-guk tells his mom, "Yoo-min didn't call me. I came to pick you up. I was thinking that on the pretext of meeting, I could convince you for the marriage. But now, I don't think I need to convince you, because you are already up to some other trick behind my back." Then, he starts to take Yoo-min with him. To this, Yoo-min tells Chae-yeon, "I thought you would understand my feelings because you also got married against your mom and dad's wishes." To this, Chae-yeon says, "Who said we fought to get married? On the contrary, Do-guk's father was already married. His wife had died. And he also had another child. Even after that, Do-guk's father was impressed by me, and love was created between us. There was clearly love between us, so we got married." After that, Chae-yeon tells Yoo-min, "Your case is quite bad. You cheated on your boyfriend." Hearing Chae-yeon's words, Yoo-min says, "Kang-shin was marrying me only to use me. When I found out about this, I immediately broke off my engagement with him and decided that from today onwards, I will not love anyone. But after that, I met Do-guk, and I found his nature very good." Saying all this to Chae-yeon, Yoo-min leaves from there with Do-guk. Then Yoo-min goes to Do-guk's apartment with him. After reaching the apartment, Do-guk says, "We should get to know each other well because if someone asks us tomorrow, 'Do you love him, her?' then we should have a solid answer." He then takes out drinks from the fridge. Then both of them start talking while drinking together. Here, Yoo-min asks, "Do-guk, first you answer me. Do you love me?" Do-guk directly says, "Yes, I love you." And along with that, he says many romantic things, and from his words, it seemed that he really loves Yoo-min. Even Yoo-min was impressed by his words. But as soon as Do-guk says, "I was just acting," Yoo-min goes to sleep. But even after going to bed, she can't sleep, so she comes out of the room again. By then, Do-guk had already fallen asleep. Going out, Yoo-min picks up all the drink cans and puts them properly in place. And then there, Yoo-min notices that Do-guk is sweating, seeing which Yoo-min also wipes his sweat. There, Yoo-min notices that he is saying something in his sleep as if he is very scared. Then she gently touches his body so that he feels a little relaxed. Next morning, Chae-yeon reaches Do-guk's apartment. As soon as she enters the room, she sees that Do-guk and Yoo-min are sleeping together. As soon as Chae-yeon comes into the room, Yoo-min suddenly wakes up, but Do-guk is still in a deep sleep. Chae-yeon is surprised to see that he is sleeping so deeply, because until now, Do-guk had never slept like this. Going out, Chae-yeon tells Yoo-min, "All right, I am ready for both of your marriage. But there is also one condition." And before telling that condition, Chae-yeon asks for a promise from Yoo-min. "You will never tell Do-guk about this." After this, Yoo-min goes straight to her house and tells everyone that Do-guk's family members are ready to meet their family. After this, her dad cancels all his meetings so that he can meet Do-guk's family members, because he knew that the profit he would get by working with Do-guk he would not get from any other company. Just then, Yoo-min gets a call from grandfather. Yoo-min makes her dad talk to grandfather. Grandfather tells him, "Get Yoo-min married to Do-guk properly." Hearing this, Lee-min gets another shock. A flashback scene from there is shown. When Yoo-min had gone to meet them, grandfather had not opened the gate. But Yoo-min remembers that when she was about to die, manager Kim had made her talk to grandfather. There, grandfather was crying and saying to Yoo-min, "Please forgive me." As soon as she remembers this, Yoo-min tries an emotional trick. She tells grandfather, "I have forgiven you. I have come here because I am going to marry Do-guk, and I want to take your blessing." As soon as Yoo-min says that she has forgiven grandfather, grandfather opens the gate for her and hugs her. Next day, Yoo-min's family members go to meet Do-guk's family. They had planned to meet in a beautiful park. Yoo-min's father talks very nicely with Do-guk's family because he wanted to build a good relationship with them so that he could work in a good post in the future. Lee-min tells Do-guk's family, "Where have you arranged the meeting? Perhaps you don't value us that much. That's why you called us to such a place. Instead of calling us home, we have been called to this place." Here, no one likes Lee-min's way of talking at all, not even Chae-yeon, to which Chae-yeon, replying to Lee-min, says, "Perhaps you don't know, but Yoo-min and Do-guk's photos are already going viral, and we called you to meet in the park so that this ongoing controversy doesn't escalate further. But I think you yourself want this controversy to escalate further. I don't think you think about our children." When everyone sits down at the dining table to talk, Lee-min once again starts speaking. She tells everyone, "I don't know why you people are getting your daughter married to Yoo-min, who marries an adopted girl." Hearing the talk about adoption, everyone feels quite bad. To this, Do-guk replies to Lee-min, "I don't care where Yoo-min came from. I only know that I love Yoo-min." After that, Yoo-min tells her grandmother, "I have brought a gift for you." Yoo-min had brought a very beautiful painting as a gift, which grandmother likes a lot, and she hangs that painting on her room's wall. Do-guk's family members like Yoo-min's dad's nature a lot, but no one likes Lee-min's nature. Next, we see a flashback in which Do-guk's mom had told Yoo-min her condition. In these 6 months, you have to somehow send Do-guk back to their family company. He used to work in that company before, but due to a fight with his brother, he left the company and started a new one. This was Chae-yeon's condition, and only on this condition did she agree to Yoo-min and Do-guk's marriage. Yoo-min also accepts that challenge. In the next scene, Yoo-min is packing her belongings because she was going to shift to Do-guk's house when she gets a call from Do-guk. He tells her, "I am working so that I can comfortably feed you, but this doesn't mean that I am not free for you. Whenever you need my help, I will always be with you." Hearing Do-guk's words, Yoo-min starts blushing, and she didn't want him to find out about this, so Yoo-min immediately cuts his call. Yoo-min is packing all her belongings and leaving the house when Kang-shin comes in her way. Kang-shin, holding Yoo-min's bag, says, "Come on, I'll drop you home." Yoo-min stops him, to which Kang-shin says, At least let me help for the last time, and on this pretext, we'll also talk a little. Further, we see that Kang Shin deliberately wanted to drop Yumin home so that he could manipulate her. He says, "Think for yourself, how did Do-guk agree to marry you so quickly? I want you to keep a little distance from Do-guk." Yumin ignores Kang Shin's words, and as soon as she moves towards her room, Kang Shin suddenly says, "Don't you know that Do-guk is a killer?" Hearing this, Yumin freezes right there. Kang Shin says, "Don't you know why he left his family company? He left it so that he wouldn't have to face his brother. In childhood, Do-guk and Han had gone on a boat ride, and Do-guk had pushed Han into the water. Han was saved, but his one leg was damaged in this incident. Due to this guilt, he left that company." Hearing this, Yumin becomes like a statue for a moment, shocked. Kang Shin, taking advantage of this moment, hugs her and says, "I can never think ill of you. Please, come back into my life." But Yumin pushes him away and goes inside the house. As soon as she goes into the room, we see that Kang Shin still hasn't learned his lesson because Jin Hee arrives there. Kang Shin had done all this at Jin Hee's behest, and when Kang Shin hugged Yumin, Jin Hee had also clicked their photo at that very moment. As soon as she goes into the room, Yumin immediately calls Sujin and asks her about this. To this, Sujin doesn't hide anything and says, yes, this incident had happened in childhood, but Sujin also believes that no one has any proof of this incident, that Do-guk had deliberately tried to kill Han. In the next scene, Do-guk's grandma goes to meet Yumin's grandfather. Actually, grandfather had worked with grandma before, and they had started the company together, where they had also gotten some money. But greed came into grandfather's mind, due to which he stole grandma's money and ran away from there. But suddenly today, grandfather has come to give all that money to grandma. Grandfather tells grandma, somehow get Yumin married to Do-guk, but grandma rejects grandfather's money. Here grandma starts saying to Chaeyeon, I don't know what their plan is because grandfather came to give me money today and says, get Yumin married to Do-guk. On the other hand, Yumin's father also wants to join our company. Now grandma decides that she will test Yumin. She will check if Yumin is also like her family members, or different, and grandma just hopes that Yumin turns out to be different from her family. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to separate Do-guk and Yumin. Meanwhile, Yumin has come to a restaurant to meet Han. She couldn't see Han anywhere. He was in the hotel built above the restaurant. In a short while, Do-guk also reaches outside the restaurant, where Do-guk will have to cross a bridge to enter the restaurant, but there was a lot of water under that bridge, seeing which Do-guk's health suddenly starts deteriorating. Here he starts remembering the past when Han had fallen into the water. Here Do-guk shouts a lot, someone save my brother! Someone save my brother! Here we can clearly see that Do-guk has not yet recovered from this trauma. Well, of course, it was clearly visible here that Do-guk wanted to save his brother, but he was quite young, which is why he couldn't do it. And because of this, Han's legs also stopped working, which is why this was the most scary part of Do-guk's life. Just then, suddenly Yumin stands right in front of Do-guk. He starts yelling at Yumin, what are you doing here? How can you go to meet someone without telling me? Then he tries to go towards Yumin once again, after which Do-guk's health deteriorates so much. Then Yumin runs towards Do-guk. He tells Yumin, you said that we should not interfere in each other's lives, but you have already crossed the line. And saying this, Do-guk faints right there. Han was also watching the whole scene, where Han was very happy watching this scene. At the same time, Han starts saying, you still haven't recovered from the trauma. You were a coward before and you are a coward now. Yumin admits Do-guk to the hospital. In the hospital, after all the checkups, when Yumin goes to check on him, Do-guk is not in the bed. Here Yumin, seeing all this, starts searching for him throughout the hospital. Just then, suddenly Do-guk himself stops Yumin from behind, after which Yumin finds out that just as she was searching for Do-guk, he too was searching for Yumin. After this, Do-guk tells Yumin, I don't want to stay in the hospital anymore, so Yumin goes home with Do-guk. At home, Do-guk sleeps in his bed and Yumin on the sofa. Then the scene shifts to the next day where Yumin's eye opens hearing a sudden bell sound. Do-guk's friend had come there to check on him. At the same time, that girl also knew that Yumin was Do-guk's girlfriend, after which that girl immediately rushes into Do-guk's room shouting, where the room door also closes. Seeing all this, Yumin feels a bit strange. In a short while, that girl comes out of the room and now introduces herself to Yumin. My name is Parkmin, and I am Do-guk's psychiatrist. Parkmin starts telling Yumin, you don't need to worry, Do-guk's condition is improving a little. His panic attacks will now gradually decrease. Then Do-guk comes out of the room and immediately kicks Parkmin out of his house so that she doesn't say anything in front of Yumin. After this, Yumin goes to meet Do-guk's grandma. Grandma directly tells Yumin, your father had come to talk to me so that I could keep him in my company. And not only your father, but your grandfather had also come to meet, and he was saying, I will get Yumin and Do-guk married. And in return for this, Yumin's grandfather was also ready to return all the money, which he had stolen many years ago. Grandma asks Yumin, What should I do now? If you were in my place, what would you do? Yumin directly tells Grandma, you can do whatever you think is right. If you think that keeping my father in that position will profit you, then keep him. If there will be no profit, then don't keep him. Because of course, business is not made from family members, but business is made from profit. Here, hearing Yumin's words, Grandma is impressed by Yumin. Now Grandma, after talking to Yumin, takes her to her house where Duguk had also come. There, Grandma tells everyone, Duguk and Yumin's marriage should happen soon now. Hearing this, everyone is surprised. In the next scene, Kangshin gets a call from the bridal house to come and check his dress. The receptionist also tells Kangshin, your bride's name is Yumin. Hearing Yumin's name, Kangshin becomes a little happy and says nothing to the receptionist because Kangshin thinks maybe Yumin's mood has changed. On the other side, Yumin goes to give her wedding card first to her family members. There, except for Yumin's father, Jin-hee and Lee-min are very jealous. Yumin's father promises Yumin that he will definitely come to her wedding, but Jin-hee is very sad. She starts crying and tells her father, how can you say such a thing to your daughter? Duguk was supposed to marry me? To which Dad replies very rudely, don't you worry, I have booked dates with many boys for you too. Now you date them and marry whoever you like. All the boys belong to rich families. Yumin is approaching Doguk. That's why Jin-hee wanted to marry Doguk. Next day, Doguk and Yumin leave early in the morning to buy their wedding dress. Further, we see Kangshin, who is in the same wedding shop. The receptionist is apologizing to Kangshin. Due to our mistake, you had to face so much trouble. Actually, there was no booking in your name. After which Kangshin is about to leave without saying anything when Yumin enters, wearing her wedding dress and looking very beautiful. Yumin is about to show Duguk her wedding dress, but Kangshin sees Yumin from outside the room. Then Kangshin also comes into the room, and as soon as he enters, he yells at Yumin a lot. Now Kangshin starts to think all this was Yumin's planning. She deliberately made a booking in my name so that I would come there, and as soon as I saw Yumin, I would feel bad. But Kangshin is not sad at all. Instead, he tells Yumin, looking at your face, it's clearly visible that you are not happy with this marriage at all. You are doing this marriage forcefully. But before Kangshin could say anything more, Duguk gets him thrown out of there. In the next scene, Yumin is busy with her painting. Kangshin's words are repeatedly revolving in her mind. He had told her that she is not happy with this marriage. Just then, she suddenly gets a call from Han. Han wanted to meet Yumin once again. She agrees to meet him. Next day, Jin-hee's dad had fixed her date with a boy. Jin-hee and Lee-min go to meet that boy, along with the boy's mom. Today, Jin-hee didn't want her date to be successful, so she wears evil-type clothes and behaves very strangely, as if she has no manners at all. So that lady tells Jin-hee, do you have any manners or not? You don't have any class at all. Jin-hee cannot tolerate her insult at all. She starts taunting them back, due to which that boy was about to raise his hand on Jin-hee when Han comes there and hits that boy. Jin-hee didn't know Han, but Han had protected Jin-hee. Because of this, Jin-hee says thank you to Han. After Jin-hee and Lee-min leave from there, Yumin also comes to the same restaurant to meet Han. Han thinks that maybe Yumin is also like Lee-min. So Han tells Yumin, why don't we work together? Whatever profit there is, we will both share it. Yumin doesn't understand what profit Han is talking about. As soon as Han moves towards her to explain, Duguk comes and pushes Han away from Yumin. Duguk, in anger, starts saying all sorts of things to Han. Han tells Doguk, come on, hit me today too like you were going to hit me before. Hearing this, Doguk cannot control his anger and pushes Han. Seeing all this, Yumin also gets into shock. Just then we see that Jin-hee is sitting above the restaurant and is watching this entire fight. Seeing all this, Jin-hee goes to her house and tells Lee-min, somehow fix my date with Han. I want to marry him. Lee-min was not agreeable to this, but Jin-hee wanted to put Doguk and Yumin down at any cost. Han can help her in this because Han is also a powerful person. Therefore, he has the capability to stand up to Duguk. On the other side, Duguk and Yumin have also reached home. Yumin tells him, I went to meet Han so that I could solve your problems. So Duguk tells Yumin, first you yourself say that we should not interfere in each other's matters. And then, on the contrary, you are trying to interfere in my life? Does this mean that you have started liking me? Then do whatever you want. I will always support you. Feelings for Duguk are clearly developing in Yumin's heart too, but she controls herself and says, I just want to help you as a friend, nothing more. Duguk doesn't like this at all, because he also has feelings for Yumin in his heart. He gets sad and goes to his room and while leaving says, then don't interfere in my life either. Next day, grandmother takes Yumin to a fortune teller. She asks, how did grandfather's behavior suddenly change? He is ready to give me back the money. He wants us to get Yumin married to Duguk. To this, the fortune teller tells grandmother and Yu-min the real reason. A long time ago, grandfather had accidentally caused an accident to a lady, due to which that lady died. And that lady was pregnant, so her child also died. Grandfather was very affected by this guilt. That's why he came to this fortune teller and asked what he should do to get rid of this guilt. The fortune teller says, that girl didn't die. She's still alive. And if you want to do something, then you have to adopt a girl immediately. Hearing this story, grandmother gets a little scared and asks, what is Yu-min now? Alive or dead? To this, the fortune teller says, Yu-min is neither properly alive nor properly dead. Yu-min understands this because she already knows, I have died in the future, and my soul has come and gotten trapped in the past. But grandmother, hearing all this, was very confused and scared from within. She immediately leaves from there. Yu-min had found out that grandfather had done many wrong things in the past, and now he is treating Yu-min well to reduce his guilt for those things. Then Yu-min calls grandmother chairman. So grandmother shouts, what is this, chairman? I am not chairman for you. You can call me grandmother. Grandmother says this because now she wants that even if grandfather did wrong, she will give Yu-min happiness and accept her. Then Yu-min goes to grandfather, and he starts looking for something in the cupboard. Then Yu-min tells him, now you don't need to feel guilty. That was the past, and that girl is not me. Hearing this, grandfather stops there for a few moments, but then again starts looking for something in the cupboard. After searching a lot, he finds that thing. It was a photo, but not a normal photo. It was an old photo when Yu-min was little and was standing with her mom. Then grandfather tells, Han-jin's first wife was Yu-min's mom, but later it was found out that he had an affair with another woman, and that woman was none other than Lee-min. Han-jin wanted to marry Lee-min, so he left his first wife and married Lee-min. But by then, his first wife was pregnant, and Yu-min was in her womb. I didn't want Yu-min to die now, just like I had taken the life of a lady and her unborn child years ago. After some time, I received the news of Yu-min's mom's death, but after some years, he gets news that his granddaughter Yu-min is living in an orphanage near their house. Then, he got Yu-min checked up, and it was confirmed that she is his real granddaughter. And due to this guilt, grandfather adopted Yu-min because he had a lot of regret for his past mistake. But even though he adopted Yu-min, he never told anyone that Yu-min is the daughter of his family. And this was the main reason why grandfather was putting in so much effort for Yu-min. Just then, suddenly, Lee-min arrives there, so grandfather immediately hides Yu-min inside the cupboard. As soon as Lee-min enters, she says, whatever happened in the past, don't tell Yu-min anything about it. Hearing this, Yu-min understands. Not only grandfather, but Lee-min also knows the real truth, that I am Han-jin's real daughter. But so that Han-jin's love for Jin-hee doesn't decrease, she had forbidden grandfather from telling Han-jin this. In the next scene, Da-guk gets a call from the police station because Yu-min is found walking barefoot on the road. There, Yu-min is sitting completely calm, but her condition is very bad. Her feet are very injured. Da-guk asks her, what happened to you? But Yu-min says nothing. She's in such a big shock. Seeing Yu-min's condition, Da-guk understands something bad has definitely happened to her. So he doesn't ask her anything else at that time. He takes Yu-min home, cleans her feet, applies ointment to her wounds, and puts her to sleep. On the wedding day, Yu-min is very sad. So Da-guk just tells her, why do you want to marry me? If you want to take revenge on your family, then you have to do this marriage. After the marriage, first Da-guk and Yu-min greet Da-guk's family members. Then Yu-min greets her mom, because from her family, only Lee-min is there. Lee-min, to look good in front of the media, tells Yu-min, Beta, unfortunately your father's health deteriorated, otherwise he too would have attended your wedding. Now comes the scene of the photo session of Da-guk and Yu-min together. Photos are being clicked. Just then, Jin-hee arrives there in a wedding dress. Everyone gets into shock. Jin-hee, as soon as she arrives, pushes Soo-jin, who is standing next to Yu-min, aside, and herself stands next to Yu-min for a photo, and immediately uploads it to social media as well. She smiles seeing the good comments from her fans. So Yu-min, to make Jin-hee jealous, says, this is your social media world, but I am living an actual life. I am marrying the one I love the most. Then Yu-min proudly holds Da-guk's hand, gives a nice smile, and a photo is clicked. At night, both go to the room. Da-guk asks her, will you drink? But Yu-min clearly refuses, and immediately goes to her room and sleeps. Next day when Da-guk's eye opens, he finds a note stuck on the fridge, that she is going on a trip for 2 days so that her mind can be refreshed. Then Da-guk goes to Yu-min. He says, I knew you wanted me to come here, that's why you left a note for me. Then Da-guk tells Yu-min, actually, Han's mom died in childhood. After that, my dad married my mom. Then I was born, then my sister. But Han always felt that no one loves him. That's why Han was also telling you that day, I too am an orphan. One day Han, and Dad had gone for a walk. We were both very young. Han was jealous of me, so he grabbed me by the collar and started hitting me. But in the fight, Han fell into the water. When Han came out of the water, his condition was very bad, and his one leg was disabled. As soon as Han regained consciousness, he put all the blame on me. Dad was very angry with me, and even slapped me. But actually, it wasn't my fault at all. Hearing this story, Yumin finally understands who is wrong and who is right. Then, Do-guk says, "Don't you know why I came here?" She says, "How would I know why you came here?" Then Do-guk can't control himself, and holding Yumin's hand clearly says, "I like you very much. Whether you like me or not, I will always do my best and make every effort for you." Yumin doesn't react, but Do-guk hugs her tightly. Then, Do-guk and Yumin have reached the hotel room. Their bathroom is made entirely of glass, so Yumin thinks that if someone bathes, everything will be visible from outside. Do-guk says, "You bathe first, then I will bathe." So Yumin directly refuses and says, "I am not going to bathe." Do-guk says, "All right, then I'll go bathe." But then the issue arises that the bathroom is made of glass. Everything can be seen from outside. Because of this, Yumin stops him. "No, you don't go bathe either." Do-guk doesn't understand why Yumin is behaving like this. So Yumin says, "All right, I am going to bathe first, but as long as I am bathing, you keep your face covered with the sheet." To this, Do-guk says, No, why should I do that? You do one thing, you sit comfortably, I will bathe first." Now he goes to bathe and presses a button on a remote. As soon as he presses the button, the transparent glass of the bathroom immediately blurs. Seeing this, Yumin is totally shocked. She says, "This also happens. Why didn't you tell me? You were teasing me, right?" To this, Do-guk, laughing, says, "You never asked me. If you had asked, I would have told you." Now he also understands why Yumin was not going to bathe. Then he himself goes to bathe first. Next day, Do-guk and Yumin are sitting near the beach. Yumin tells him, "You should take off your shoes and walk in the water so that your fear of water can be reduced." And then she herself also takes off her shoes. Then both of them have fun in the water. They enjoyed the whole day. As soon as they came home, Yumin lies down straight on the bed. Then Do-guk tells her, "Today I will also sleep in the bed. Due to sleeping on the floor last night, my back has started aching." To this, Yumin replies, "All right, if you want to sleep in the bed, then you can sleep. Then I'll do one thing. I'll sleep on the floor." To this, Do-guk again stops Yumin and says, "No, today I want us both to sleep on the same bed." Yumin didn't want this, so she puts a boundary in between, and Do-guk feels very bad about this. He talks to her, so Yumin gets off the bed and says, "If you keep talking like this, I won't get enough sleep. I am very tired today." To this, Do-guk holds Yumin's hand and says, "Looking at me, don't you think I love you? Can't you trust me even once?" Then Yumin tells Do-guk, "I am Han Jin's real daughter, but until now everyone has been hiding this fact from me." Do-guk says, "You don't need to worry. Cry as much as you want. I will never judge you." Initially, Yumin cries a lot, but later she tells Do-guk, "I can never love anyone." To this, Do-guk says, "Whether you love anyone or not, I will, right? I will always love you. Use me as much as you want. Whatever help you need from me, I am ready to help you." Hearing this, Yumin kisses Do-guk. Do-guk holds her hand, puts it on his face so that he can feel her properly, and then they both kiss each other. In the next scene, Yumin is having lunch with Do-guk's family. Just then, Han Jin-hee arrives with Han. He tells everyone, "Jin-hee and I are dating each other, and it's possible we might get married after some time." Hearing this, all the family members are shocked. Then arguments start between the two brothers. Before their fight could escalate further, grandmother starts saying, "Han, take Jin-hee home with you. There was no need to bring her here, and Do-guk should also return to his home with Yumin." And following grandmother's order, Do-guk, Han, Yumin, and Jin-hee all four leave the house. But after going out of the house, a fight starts between Yumin and Jin-hee. Here, Yumin tells Jin-hee, "Now what are you going to do? Why are you repeatedly creating problems?" To this, Jin-hee replies, "You started everything. You shouldn't have snatched my things. You are pretending as if you are the real, rightful owner." Yumin also doesn't remain silent and tells Jin-hee, "Who said I am fake? I am the real one. I have the right to all these things." Then, Do-guk takes Yumin away from there. After that, Lee-min goes to the hospital with manager Kim to meet grandfather so that she can get all of grandfather's shares in her name. But Lee-min's plan fails because when she reaches the hospital, she finds out that someone else has already come and discharged grandfather. Now we see grandfather, who has been admitted to another hospital. There, grandfather is telling his lawyer, "Finally, the time has come to give my shares. I want you to quickly prepare all the share papers. Just make one small change. Instead of child, write grandchild, meaning I will give my shares not to my children, but to my grandchild. In the next scene, Yoo-min gives manager Kim another task, to find the maid who had tried to kill Yoo-min in her childhood, because Yoo-min's sixth sense was telling her that perhaps that maid also knows something or the other about Yoo-min. In the next scene, we see Kang-shin, who goes to Do-guk and Yoo-min's house to meet Yoo-min, but as soon as he is about to ring the bell, the gate suddenly opens. Seeing this, an evil idea comes to Kang-shin's mind. He quietly enters the house. Then Kang-shin searches the whole house, but finds nothing. Just then, his eyes fall on the contract papers, the same papers that Do-guk and Yoo-min had signed before marriage. Seeing these papers, Kang-shin feels a little happy. He thinks perhaps Yoo-min married Do-guk only to take revenge on him. At night, when Yoo-min reaches home, Do-guk has already prepared dinner for her. Yoo-min is so busy with work that she starts eating without thinking. Seeing this, Do-guk says, "Look, now you are eating without fear. Ever since your maid mixed poison in your food, you always used to eat fearfully. But by staying with me, that fear of yours has gone." Yoo-min then tells Do-guk, "We have to do something quickly, otherwise if Jin-hee and Han get married, everything will be ruined." Yoo-min suggests, "Why don't you also join your family business?" Do-guk, remembering his past, says, "I have seen my grandma work very hard. I had decided since childhood that I would join that company, but because of Han, I moved away from it. But in the present, only you are my family. Now, I will only focus on protecting you. In this world, only Yoo-min is important to me, no one else." Next, Do-guk and Yoo-min go to Do-guk's house, where there is a strange silence. Because the family members had found out that they had a contract marriage, Do-guk tells them, "Yes, initially it was a contract marriage, but now we really love each other." But no one believes his words, and here Han also adds fuel to the fire. He says, Do-guk and Yoo-min deliberately did a contract marriage to impress grandmother and get their hands on the company. To this, Do-guk gets angry, grabs Han's collar, and says, "How dare you sneak into our house?" Because those contract papers were kept in their house. Then Grandma sends everyone to their homes. In the next scene, we see Jin-hee and Sun-mi together. Both wanted to defame Yoo-min. Sun-mi and Jin-hee together post many of Yoo-min's photos on social media, writing that Yoo-min cheated on Kang-shin. This post goes viral. This news spreads all over social media that Yoo-min is a very bad and rude girl. In the next scene, Chae-yeon tells Yoo-min, "You already had a contract marriage, so why did you accept my challenge? There was no love between you at all. I was starting to think a little better of you, but after seeing those papers, my mood has totally soured." Just then, Do-guk comes there and tells Chae-yeon, "Mom, right now we need to support Yoo-min. That house is not at all safe for Yoo-min. Initially, we did a contract marriage because Yoo-min had to get out of that house, but eventually we started loving each other. On the contrary, because of those people, Yoo-min can't even eat properly to this day, because once they even mixed poison in her food." Do-guk also shows Chae-yeon those social media posts and says, "Look, how they are deliberately trying to frame Yoo-min." At this moment, Do-guk wanted to help Yoo-min so much that he even kneels down in front of Chae-yeon and says, "Mom, please help us once again." Here, seeing Chae-yeon's love for Yoo-min, she finally gets ready to help them. Next, Chae-yeon goes to meet Lee-min, where Lee-min thinks that due to the social media post, Chae-yeon is angry with Yoo-min, and for this reason, she has come to meet her. Because of this, Lee-min tells Chae-yeon, "I had already said that Yoo-min is a bad girl, but you." Chae-yeon starts telling Lee-min, "What kind of mother are you? Your daughter is being defamed, and you are defaming her even more." Lee-min says, "You tell me when to start the work. I will quickly prepare the divorce papers, and if you want, I can bring Yoo-min to my house right now." Hearing Yoo-min's name, Chae-yeon says, "Who said I want to get Do-guk and Yoo-min divorced? On the contrary, I am talking about Jin-hee and Han. I don't want Jin-hee and Han to be together." She further says, "Do-guk and Yoo-min are married now. Now they can decide for themselves how to solve their problems. And as for the contract marriage, I only made this deal with Yoo-min. If you don't send Do-guk to the company within 6 months, then after that your marriage will be broken off. So there is no problem with the contract marriage. If they have to leave each other, they will leave on their own. And if they have to stay together, they will also decide that themselves. We should not interfere in this." Next, Jin-hee goes to meet Han and tells Han what conversations took place between Lee-min and Chae-yeon today. At the same time, Jin-hee also says, "Chae-yeon wants Do-guk to come to your company." Kang-shin, seeing his sister Sun-mi posting wrong things about Yoo-min, tries to stop her and explains, "This work you're doing, Sun-mi, it can harm you in the future. You might even go to jail." But due to Jin-hee's influence, Sun-mi had completely changed. She doesn't listen to Kang-shin. Next day, we see Do-guk, Yoo-min, their mom, dad, and grandmother having lunch together. There, Do-guk and Han, one by one, apologize to their grandmother for their past mistakes. After this, Do-guk's father starts telling everyone, "We should forget the past and start a new beginning now." Han says, "I found out that actually my mom had a contract with Yoo-min. If Yoo-min gets Do-guk to join the company within 6 months, then Chae-yeon will happily accept Yoo-min as her daughter-in-law." But now, Do-guk's patience was exhausted. Taking out his phone from his pocket, he says, "I have a video recording of the incident that happened 20 years ago." Then Chae-yeon says, "There was no CCTV there, but at that time a group of fishermen was passing by, and they had recorded that video on their phone." Chae-yeon further says, "When we got that video clip, Do-guk was ready to show it to everyone, but I stopped him. Because if at that time we had proven Han wrong, then everyone would have said, 'She is a stepmother, that's why she is taking revenge on Han.'" But despite hearing all this, Han was not at all ready to accept his mistake. Seeing their fighting, Grandma gets very frustrated and in anger breaks Do-guk's phone. After this, Grandma calls both Han and Do-guk to her room and announces her final decision. Do-guk will join the company, and after 1 year, whoever's progress is best will be made the owner of the company. Han is already working in that company, and as for Do-guk, he too happily accepts this challenge. In the next scene, we see Han tells Lee-min about his and Do-guk's competition. He says, "I want Do-guk and Yoo-min's image to be severely damaged in the media." On the other side, Do-guk calls Kang-shin to meet him. He shows a video from his phone in which it was clearly visible that Kang-shin had secretly entered Do-guk's house. Then he tells Kang-shin, "I also know that your sister posted all these photos. So if you don't stop your sister in time, I will file a police complaint, and then your mom will feel very bad that both her children will be in jail." Hearing this, Kang-shin starts begging in front of Do-guk not to file a case against them because his sister is still very young and naive. And if something happens to her, their mom will feel very bad. To this, he tells Kang-shin, "All right, I am ready to agree to your request, but in return, you will have to announce in front of everyone. I was behind all this. And not only me, but Jin-hee also has a hand in it." Further, it is shown that Yoo-min goes to Grandma's house to meet her, and today the food she had learned in the cooking class, she prepares that same food for Grandma. In a way, Yoo-min had gone to apologize to Grandma. She tells Grandma, "Actually, I never learned cooking because someone mixed poison in my food in childhood, and since then, I started to fear food. But ever since I have been living with Do-guk, this fear of mine has started to lessen. Now I want to feed you and Chae-yeon the food I make with my own hands, along with Do-guk." Then Grandma starts asking Yoo-min, "Do you really love Do-guk?" To this, Yoo-min clearly says, "Yes, I really love him. I don't know how much he loves me, but from my side, there is a lot of love for him." So, Grandma accepts her as her granddaughter-in-law. In the next scene, Yoo-min finds out about her house's old servant. Then the servant starts telling Yoo-min about the past, what had actually happened. Actually, Lee-min had mixed poison in Yoo-min's food and put the blame on the servant. Because of this, the servant was fired from the job. In the next scene, Kang-shin sees Jin-hee with Han. He calls her, but she doesn't attend his call. In the next scene, we see Sun-mi at the police station. Here, when Kang-shin gets news about this, Kang-shin immediately calls Jin-hee for help, where Jin-hee clearly tells Kang-shin, "You should solve your problem yourself." Kang-shin couldn't understand whom to go to. Just then, Kang-shin's gaze falls on Yoo-min. Here, Kang-shin immediately kneels down in front of Yoo-min and starts apologizing. Yoo-min says, "All right, I am ready to free your sister from jail, but in return, you will also have to do one job for me." In the next scene, we see Do-guk and Han in a meeting, where Han, to bring down Do-guk's reputation, says in front of everyone, "The company's reputation is declining because of Do-guk." Do-guk says, "Now you all should see the latest news." On social media, Kang-shin had confessed that his engagement with Yoo-min broke because Yoo-min found out that he loved her younger sister. Kang-shin had also confessed, "Jin-hee and I was responsible for ruining Yoo-min's reputation." Then, Do-guk proudly says, "Jin-hee is my elder brother Han's fiancé, who are ruining the company's reputation." Do-guk ends his speech like this, "Han should pay more attention to work than to other people's wives." Now, due to all these things, the shares of Yoo-min's dad's company start falling, due to which he gets hospitalized. Further, we see Lee-min is always busy feeding her husband a strange medicine. She turns him against Yoo-min because whatever has happened, it has all happened because of Yoo-min. In the next scene, Yoo-min goes to meet her grandfather, and he tells her that after her mom left the house, he didn't know where Yoo-min and her mom lived. Lee-min knew everything about where they lived. Therefore, Lee-min immediately hires a criminal named Jo-dung and orders him to finish off Yoo-min and her mom. Jo-dung goes to Yoo-min's house and sets their house on fire. Now Yoo-min tells Do-guk everything, and at the same time, Yoo-min quickly gets ready to save her father. And then she tells them everything, Lee Min is also behind making you sick. She wants to take your business. At the same time, Yumin also shows them the test reports, in which it is clearly written Yumin is Han Jin's real daughter, but he doesn't believe Yumin's words. Yumin immediately breaks a strand of her hair and gives it to him in his hand. Get this tested. Then you yourself will find out who is telling the truth and who is lying, who wants to help you and who is deceiving you. Lee Min was busy getting all the shareholders in the company on her side. On the other hand, Yumin also starts doing the same. Actually, Lee Min had already brought many shareholders to her side through her power. Because of this, her cooking teacher becomes very important for Yumin. Yumin starts telling her cooking teacher, "Will you help me? Because you are also a shareholder. And if you want, you can also convince other shareholders for me." To which the teacher's reply was, "I already have the fewest shares. And yes, I had also talked to many shareholders, but they all refused." Everyone is taking Lee Min's side. Hearing the cooking teacher's words, Yumin feels a bit strange because Yumin had just come to talk and the teacher had already talked to everyone. Then Yumin, remembering all the past events, starts connecting everything. And in the end, she realizes that Yumin's mom died due to a fire in the house, and the same teacher's hand is also burnt. So Yumin understands that the teacher sitting in front of her is none other than her mother. But Yumin, in anger, says, "No, you can't be my mom. You don't love me." But she apologizes to Yumin. So Yumin says, "All right, I'll give you one more chance. Now we have to defeat Lee Min." After that, she finally hugs Yumin tightly. But Lee Min, who had come to convince the teacher, also sees all this. Then finally that day arrives when the shares are going to be discussed, where Duguk and Yumin have arrived, and Yumin's mom is also there. Lee Min, after finishing her speech, starts asking everyone for their opinion. Lee Min had already convinced all the shareholders to her side, so no one raises an objection against her. But just then, Grandfather arrives. As soon as Grandfather arrives, he tells Yumin, "Among all these shareholders, I have the most shares." Then Grandfather, shouting at Lee Min in front of everyone, says, "I don't think my son would have asked you to do all this. You want to usurp the company. My son is sick, and taking advantage of that, you are doing all this behind his back." Saying this, Grandfather exposes Lee Min in front of everyone. On the other hand, Jin-hee also sleeps with Han, but Han is just using her. Grandfather refuses to give his shares to Lee Min, and after this statement, his reputation in front of everyone becomes even stronger, meaning everyone is ready to give their shares to Yumin. Then Lee Min runs to Han Jin and starts lying. Look how clever Yumin turned out to be. Finally, she achieved her goal and also got the company. Han Jin had gotten a DNA test done himself, and it is confirmed to him that Yumin is his real daughter. He is very angry because Yumin had told that Lee Min was also behind her mother's death. Yumin, Grandfather, and Jin-hee are also watching all this drama, and just then, Jin-hee also finds out that Yumin is Han Jin's real daughter. Then Han Jin orders the guards to throw Lee Min out of this house. In the next scene, Jin-hee takes food to her room, but as soon as she's about to eat, she suddenly starts feeling like vomiting. In the next scene, we see Duguk, who is talking to Yumin about becoming parents. He wanted them to have not one, but 2 children. He had even made the whole plan. He says, "When we have children, I will take leave or work from home, so that I can spend time with my children, and Yumin can also get rest." Hearing all this, Yumin starts laughing and says, "I need some time to think about this." On the other side, Jin-hee does her pregnancy test and finds out that she is pregnant. Jin-hee gets scared seeing her mom and tells everything truthfully. "I have become pregnant." But Lee Min, instead of scolding her, becomes very happy because this baby was Han's. And Lee Min thinks, when grandmother finds out about this, she will never let Jin-hee go. In the next scene, we see Jin-hee meeting Han. She tells Han, "I'm pregnant." Han also becomes very happy hearing this news, but not because Han wants the baby, but because Han sees this as an opportunity to go back to his family. In the next scene, Grandfather tells Jin-hee, when Lee Min met Han Jin, she was pregnant. Hearing this, Jin-hee is shocked. In the next scene, Jin-hee is told by Yumin, "I want to give you a suggestion. Never trust your mom's words." So Jin-hee reaches Han's room, where Lee Min was already present. Lee Min was talking to some woman and was telling her, "My daughter has become pregnant," meaning Jin-hee is pregnant, and that child is Han's. Now Jin-hee doesn't like their talk, so instead of talking to her mom, she quietly slips out of the hotel. In the next scene, Jin-hee asks Lee Min, "Who is my dad?" So she says, "You are mine, and Han Jin's daughter." But still, Jin-hee doesn't believe her words. Just then, Jin-hee gets a call from someone, after which she tells Lee Min, The police are looking for you, so you immediately run away from here through the back gate. Then Lee Min, sitting in the car, says, quickly take me to the hospital. Today itself we will sell all the paintings and run away from here. Yoo Min and Do-guk had also heard all this, due to which they found out that Lee Min had hidden all those paintings in the hospital. Meanwhile, Jin-hee, after Lee Min leaves from there, immediately goes to the hotel, where upon arrival Jin-hee starts looking at some DNA test reports. But the test reports were matching a lot, meaning whoever Jin-hee had her testing done with, they were actually her parents. Yoo Min has reached the hospital, so manager Kim leaves Yoo Min there to check the surrounding area. When Lee Min comes to the hospital with Jo-dung in a car, she sees Yoo Min standing outside. She orders Jo-dung, "Didn't I tell you that you have to kill a girl? So this girl standing right in front, you have to finish her." But because Jo-dung had a microphone, Do-guk finds out that Lee Min is about to hit Yoo Min with the car. And at that very moment, Yoo Min was crossing the road when she notices that a car is approaching her at high speed, and especially Lee Min is sitting in that car. She was just about to hit Yoo Min, but Do-guk brings his car in front of Lee Min's car. Do-guk gets out of his car, goes to Yoo Min and starts saying, "Yoo Min, are you alright? I was very scared. I started to feel that I might lose you like last time." Do-guk's words seem a bit strange to Yoo Min, upon which Yoo Min asks, "Do-guk, last time, when were you about to lose me?" Just then, the police arrive there and take Lee Min and Jo-dung with them. Next, Jo-dung and Lee Min are taken to the police station. There, Jo-dung starts saying in front of everyone, "Lee Min had asked me to do all this. On her command, I tried to kill both of them." Lee Min tries her best to save herself. So, Jo-dung had saved all the call recordings with Lee Min on his phone. Jo-dung starts playing all those recordings for everyone, in which Lee Min had clearly said, last time Yoo Min was saved, but this time Yoo Min should not be saved at all. Lee Min had now understood, I am properly trapped. But still she says, "Please, let me talk to Jin-hee once. She will help me." To which Yoo Min tells La Min, Jin-hee will not be able to do anything in this case either, because now she has nothing. Then Do-guk takes Yoo Min home with him, so that she can rest for a while. After this, Yoo Min remembers that during the accident, Do-guk had said something strange to her, upon which Yoo Min once again asks him the same thing. But Do-guk, avoiding the topic, says, "I don't remember saying anything like that." Just then, Yoo Min notices that Do-guk has a date written on his wrist, just like hers. Seeing this, Yoo Min was a little shocked. Actually, Do-guk, like Yoo Min, has also come from the future. The day Yoo Min had her accident, Do-guk also had an accident on the very same day. Yoo Min gets the biggest shock when she finds out Do-guk already knew that I had also come from the future, but he never discussed this with me. Yoo Min was very disappointed with Do-guk. Therefore, Yoo Min has decided that she needs a break from Do-guk for some time. But Do-guk stops her and says, "I will go to the hotel. You stay right here." In the next scene, Han goes to his assistant, where he finds out Han had not gotten the construction work done properly. And because of this, a man has died, due to falling from the building. Here, Han starts to feel a little scared from within, thinking, if this news reaches the media, then of course the company's name will be ruined. Then Grandma and Do-guk also found out about this news, where Han was also telling Grandma the same thing. The entire fault was of that man. But for some reason, Do-guk didn't find Han's words to be true at all. Do-guk even tells Grandma, "We should get this case properly investigated." In the next scene, Han and Jin-hee have gone to meet Grandma. Han also tells his parents and Grandma that Jin-hee is pregnant. Hearing this, everyone gets into shock, but Jin-hee didn't care at all. Jin-hee starts telling them, "The baby is very healthy, and I have decided that we should get married as soon as possible." In the next scene, Do-guk asks Han's assistant about the man's death. At first, she doesn't tell, but upon Do-guk's insistence, she gathers all the proofs against Han and gives them to Do-guk. Next day, a complaint had been filed against Han because Grandma had accepted in front of everyone that, due to her grandson, a worker's life was lost. Then the police arrest Han. Later, after finishing all the work, Do-guk finally returns to his home. Then, Yoo Min finds out a big truth. Do-guk had liked me for a very long time, even since before he had even seen me. Actually, Do-guk had gone abroad to study, and at that time, he had seen this painting made by Yoo Min at a friend's house, and slowly, he fell in love with the artist of the painting in his heart, without even seeing her. He did a lot of research and finally found out that Yoo Min had made this painting. He wanted to approach Yoo Min, but before that, Yoo Min got married to Kang Shin. The first time he saw Yoo Min, it was at an exhibition. Initially, Do-guk thought that Yoo Min's life would be perfect, her husband would be good, but after meeting at the exhibition, he realized that he had made a very big mistake. If he had come a little earlier, maybe he could have given Yoo Min the happiness she never got. On that same exhibition day, Yoo Min and Do-guk have an accident. Even at that time, Do-guk tries to save Yoo Min. But before taking her to the hospital, Do-guk himself also faints. And when his eyes open, He has returned 1 year into the past. Then a hope awakens in his heart that now he will change the future. But before that, Yoo-min comes to him. And when Do-guk finds out that Yoo-min wants to take revenge on her family, he also suspects that perhaps Yoo-min has also come from the future. After hearing this whole story, Yoo-min understands that Do-guk is not showing any fake love in front of her. Alias, all his feelings are genuine. After this, Do-guk kisses Yoo-min, and they both spend a quality night together. Next morning, Yoo-min and Do-guk couldn't understand what the date written on their hands meant. They had come to the past, but what was the future going to be now? To find a solution to this problem, Yoo-min takes Do-guk to a fortune teller. They don't tell her much, then that fortune teller reads some rituals and says, one should have died, but here 2 people died, and that's why this miracle happened. This also means that our future, that too, has now changed. But what the future will be, no one knows. I advise you to spend whatever time you have left. Well, after that, they both come out. Then both decide that whatever time they have left, they will enjoy it well. In the next scene, Yoo-min feels like vomiting, so she goes home and tests, and finally her test report comes positive, meaning she is pregnant. But she doesn't believe it. So Yoo-min decides that she will go to the hospital with Do-guk and get a proper checkup done so that she can understand the final truth. But as soon as Yoo-min gives Do-guk this news, he freezes like a statue. Yoo-min thinks perhaps he didn't like this news. But on the contrary, he says, I have started imagining how my baby will look when she goes to school, and how much I will cry when she gets married. This news is very joyful for both of them. And so both decide that today they will go out and enjoy the whole day. They are about to go out, but just then, Do-guk suddenly gets a call from his assistant. He says, Han was arrested by the police and put in jail, but inside the jail, Han tried to commit suicide. And now Han's condition is very bad, so he has been immediately admitted to the hospital. As soon as Do-guk hears this news, he immediately runs towards his house because he feels that, come what may, Han will now try to harm Yoo-min. As soon as he reaches his house and checks the house, Yoo-min is not present in any place or any room. Do-guk's assistant tells him Han has kidnapped Yoo-min. Yoo-min was in an unconscious state, but she had her phone with her, through which Do-guk is tracking her via GPS to see where she's going. Just then, Do-guk's gaze suddenly falls on today's date, and today was no ordinary day, but the same day on which both of them had their accident, meaning now, no matter what happens to Do-guk, he has to save Yoo-min, otherwise their future might repeat, meaning their lives could also be in danger. On the other side, Yoo-min also regains consciousness. She unties the rope, binding her hands, and grabs Han by the throat so that Han stops the car. Han immediately gets out of the car and thinks of picking Yoo-min up in his arms so that he can take her away. But just then, Do-guk arrives there and pushes Han hard. At this time, Do-guk's only focus was to get Yoo-min safely out of the car. But taking advantage of this, Han immediately takes out a knife from his pocket and stabs Do-guk in the stomach. Due to the knife wound, Do-guk's condition deteriorates considerably. Just then, as Do-guk and Han are fighting, the same truck arrives which had caused the accident before. But this time, Do-guk saves Han and himself from the truck in time. As soon as they escape the truck, that date written on Yoo-min's and Do-guk's hands immediately disappears, meaning they finally changed the future and their lives were saved. The police take Han away from there, and Do-guk is admitted to the hospital because his condition is very serious. The doctors say, the knife hit the stomach and the internal damage is quite severe. We have saved Do-guk, but we don't know when he will regain consciousness. Hearing all this, Yoo-min becomes very sad. In the next scene, Jin-hee arrives at Han's house with all her luggage. Seeing this, Chae-yeon starts telling her, your husband committed such a big crime, and even after that you are showing us your face? To which Jin-hee replies, I admit that this is mine and Han's fault. We have done many wrong things, but the child in my womb, it is of your blood, right? So by this right, it is your responsibility to raise this child and bring it into this world. To this, Chae-yeon says, how do we know that this is Han's child? If it were some other girl in your place, maybe we would have trusted her, but when it comes to you, trusting is a bit difficult. Even your mom was not good. Hearing Yeon's words, Jin-hee says in anger, how can you point a finger at my character? According to me, this is Han's child, and until it comes out of my womb, it cannot be confirmed whose child this is. And if by chance it turns out to be Han's, then you people will regret a lot that you didn't treat your own grandchild well. Just then, Grandma says, all right, if this is what you want, then I have some foreign contacts. I can get a test done through them and confirm whose child this is. If this is Han's child, we will raise it with love, but if it is someone else's, we will never keep it in our house. Then Grandma asks Jin-hee, do you accept my condition? Are you ready for the checkup? Hearing Grandma's words, tension is clearly visible on Jin-hee's face because she wasn't pure. She has already slept with multiple people, so how would she know whose baby this is? In the next scene, Yoo-min is on the hospital roof. She is praying for Do-guk to get well soon, because he doesn't deserve all this. His life should only have happiness. Then, when Yoo-min starts to go back to Do-guk, she meets Dona on the way, and both have tears in their eyes. Dona runs and hugs Yoo-min, because finally Do-guk had regained consciousness. When Yoo-min sees Do-guk in front of her eyes, initially he teases Yoo-min and says, "You wanted to leave me, right? That's why you weren't even around me." To which Yoo-min directly says, "This is cheating. I was sitting with you for so long, but you didn't regain consciousness then. And I just went out for 2 minutes and you immediately regained consciousness." After this, Do-guk is discharged from the hospital. Coming home, Do-guk asks Yoo-min, "What all did you do in these 2 months?" Yoo-min says, "I had a lot of fun. My mom used to feed me tasty food every day. I mean, not me, indirectly the baby in my womb." In this way, a year passes, and Yoo-min gives birth to a cute baby girl. They both always get photos clicked with their daughter, so that they can capture their memories and see how their daughter is growing up. And right here, the drama ends.